Spending time outside is important to me, not just because I think outdoor recreation is fun, which I do, and it is, but time with nature is also important to my health, both physically and mentally, and in the winter is no exception. Thing is, though, that in order to get the most out of any outdoor experience, it's important to have the right gear and attire. But the more I began spending time outdoors, the more I realized that good gear isn't always accessible. Lucky for me, the city of Grand Rapids has a program called GR Outside that hosts a gear library with everything I need and more. According to their website, the Gear Library is a community resource that is open to everyone. They use a pay-what-you-want system. This means that people only pay what they're comfortable paying for their rentals. So I'm heading over there to learn more about what they have to offer. Hey Sam, hey Raul.
Hey, welcome.
How y'all
doing,
doing,
Alice? What brings you in?
I've never been here before and I wanted to check out what y'all have here with GR Outside and in the Gear Library.
Awesome. Yeah, we can show you around and talk more about it.
I'm meeting up with Sam and Raul, who operate the Gear Library. Sam tells me that here, people can get gear to do anything outside, whether they're looking for lawn games to use here in GR or to get outfitted to go backpacking in the Upper Peninsula. And among his many roles within GR Outside, Raul helps to ensure that the Gear Library's resources are accessible to our city's Spanish-speaking community as well. What if folks don't necessarily know what they need?
When people come in, we do like to ask questions about what is it that you're trying to, get out of whatever outdoor experience that you're trying to get into. Just to make sure that we outfit people with the proper gear. And over here we have everything from our backpacking backpacks to base layers, warmer layers, and even our sleeping bags for our campers. We even have skateboards.
Something that's really important to us is that nature is not just one thing. You don't just have to camp, you don't just have to kayak, but, in here we've got skateboards, yard games. So it's important that, however they want to spend time outside, we want to try to support and encourage.
We have all sorts of yard games, obviously, right? That's another part of the Gear Library that is pretty neat. Sometimes we just have people in the summer who just are like, hey, we need some yard games for the backyard at a party.
We didn't really have a lot of lawn games when I was growing up in Brooklyn, and I've never played ladder ball before. But we're here to learn and try new things, right?
We're just trying to get it on.
Is there a distance I need to be at?
Farther.
Yeah, you should be further away. There you go. Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Good throw.
That's it. What are some of the barriers that you see most often that other folks are facing when just accessing good quality gear to get outdoors with?
The first thing that comes to mind is cost. It's very expensive. I mean, if you go to your local gear shop and you want to take your family camping for the first time, you're going to be spending potentially thousands of dollars, and that's just not accessible to everybody, right? So I think that that's one of our biggest goals here is to make it accessible to anybody in the community who wants to get outdoors.
Some of those other factors are more emotionally related. Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel safe when you're going outside? Do you know how to use the gear that you brought with you even?
And it's tough, some people don't have even a community around them that, takes advantage of doing outdoor recreation activities, right? I grew up playing some sports and stuff in school, but I always wanted to get into the outdoors. And it wasn't really till I met, people like my buddy Sam here, who got me into camping and a lot of backpacking trips and stuff that we have under our belts now because of him.
So can you tell me a little bit more about that community element?
We kind of have two arms to our programming. So some of it's, sort of directed at the public, and some of it's more towards organizations and schools and groups. So some of the things we do with the public are camping workshops where we'll bring a group of often strangers together and, go outside in Roosevelt Park and set up tents and light camping stoves. We do a similar thing with kayaking where we provide all the kayaks and life jackets and paddles and everything. And it's fun. It's often a group of strangers coming together, And then, this year we tried something new where we put these sled libraries out in parks too. So the community can just come up and, pick up a sled, use it right at that hill.
We've assisted groups on their camping trips, and we've rolled up with our van and we just show up to their campsite and help them figure out how to put up their whole setup. And usually it's with really cool groups from around the neighborhood that have a lot of kids that live within Roosevelt Park. There you go. For a backpack like this, you would outfit it with pretty much everything that you would take on a backpacking trip. This is it's a 65, so it's a pretty large backpack. I mean, everything from your food to your clothing, your tent, sleeping bag, sleeping pad, everything, your water is gonna go in here.
We're here in Roosevelt Park. What are some of the benefits for the Gear Library and some of your programs to kind of be headquartered here in Roosevelt Park?
If you think about it historically, the outdoor rec industry has not really marketed to Black and brown people. In Roosevelt Park area is pretty much primarily Black and brown. So that's one of the main reasons why we're here, and that kind of ties in accessibility. We want people to be able to get here easily versus setting up shop downtown where it's hard to get to.
Yeah, and also Roosevelt Park, the neighborhood itself has a really awesome concentration of nonprofits and organizations doing cool work that we want to get behind and try to just empower what's already going on versus trying to do it ourselves or do it all over again.
It seems like you're really working to build collaboration into the heart of how GR Outside is operating.
I think the dream is really to have the kids that go through those programs come to us on their own. Hey, I went on a camping trip when I was at this after school program, and now I can go get a tent on my own with my family and go do it again. Really, we're trying to support and resource the next generation of outdoor enthusiasts and stewards. Yeah, these are our 2-burner camping stoves, so you could really cook anything you cook on a stove at home on these.
Where can folks learn more? Where can they learn how to access all of this amazing stuff?
People can find us on social media, Instagram and Facebook, and we also have this really cool inventory website. So people find us online, they can see all of the products that we have in the Gear Library.
Snowshoeing is one of my favorite ways to get outside in the winter, so I couldn't resist the urge to take a pair of these for a test run. Snowshoes enable a person to walk on snow without sinking.
Snowshoes have some sort of traction on the bottom, so you don't slip on the ice. Yeah, you want to try one of these on?
Yeah, let's do it.
So it is a left and a right, so there's a little...
These are a little different from some of the ones I've used over the years. So Sam showed me how to put this style of snowshoe on.
From the tops, or the most front strap, and then kind of work your way back.
Okay.
So just pull up kind of from right there, and that'll tighten that one.
Now that I'm all suited up and outside, Raul gave me a quick recap on how to get my snowshoe poles set up. Personally, I believe that there are a lot of ways someone can be outdoorsy. Whether it's backpacking, snowshoeing, or kayaking, whether it's ladder ball or grilling in the backyard. I love spending time outside. For me, sometimes that means being off the grid in backcountry, but I also love spending time in the community parks that we have access to in our city. There are so many different ways to experience and enjoy being outdoors, and you don't always have to travel too far from home. But regardless of how I'm spending time in nature, I've learned that the more I understand how to use clothes and gear as tools to help keep my body safe and comfortable in the outdoors, the more confident I feel when I'm out there. And now that I know more about the resources like the GR Outside Gear Library, I'll be able to outfit myself for many more adventures to come.